The fortune is in the follow up. Did you know that only 2% of sales happen on the first contact? Only 2%. Hi, this is Maria Quattrone, and talk about the fortune is in the follow up. So, on your first contact, 2% of people buy. On the second contact, 3% of people buy. On the third contact, 5%, and 10% on the fourth. So 20% of the sales happen by the fourth contact. 80% of sales in any sales business happen between contact 5 and 12. So fifth, 5 to 12, 80%. So it's the old 80-20 rule. 80% of sales happen on contacts between 5 and 12. But here's what's even more interesting. 48% of salespeople never follow up with the prospect. 25% make 2 attempts. 12% make only 3 contacts. And only 15% of salespeople call more than 5 times. So out of all the salespeople, if you're calling 5 times plus a client, potential client, you're only around 15% competition that's out there. Only 15%. And so we know that when somebody raises their hand to buy or sell, a lot of times they're not ready yet. They're just inquiring, and that's the beginning part. They call into the office, they send an email, and it's the beginning stages. So they're in our CRM. And in our CRM, we use that to stay in touch with them. So they get emails from us, videos. So I call it the seasoned opportunities are in the database. They're in the database because they already know who we are. So we know that all sales are going to happen between 5 and 12. That's why it's important to continue to keep calling, because if you're only going to call a contact 2 or 3 times, don't even bother. Most of the time, you're not going to get the business. And the competition for really good salespeople is very low. Most quit after 2 attempts. Like I said, 45% never call the lead that came into a company. So that means a company is wasting almost 50% of their ad spend of what they're building, because salespeople aren't doing it. The fortune is inside the database. It's in the follow-up. It is not the brand new client just raising their hand saying they want to do something today. They can say that, but we know only 2% something happens immediately. So what do you need to do? You need to call into the database over and over and over and over and over again. You talk to somebody, you do your best to connect with them. I called a for sale by owner this morning. And I was like, hey, why are you selling your home on your own? Trying to see the commission? And he's like, yeah, I sold one up the street a couple months ago. And I said, okay. I said, tell me a little bit about the property. He's like, oh, I got tenants. I said, oh, yeah, so you have commercial on the first floor. Was it currently occupied? No, it's vacant. Okay, how much you asking? $3,000 a month. I'm looking at the numbers. I could tell that the property is too high from where it needs to be. I said, well, how long are you going to take before you hire a professional broker to do job? He said, well, 100 people's called me. I said, 100. I said, we're all not the same, right? And he started to laugh. And so, calling him one time and getting a no because he's not ready now is don't even bother calling them if you're only going to call them one time to get a no, or 2 times, or 3 times. I may need to contact him multiple times, but I know in 2 weeks for sure that he is going to decide to put the property on the market. So what do we talk about today in our sales meeting was when you're following up, whatever you're told, and they say, oh, I'm going to decide in 2 weeks. You call in 1 week. You call them, I'm going to decide in a month. You call in 2 weeks. You follow up faster, because by the time you call back, they've already decided to list with somebody. But it's a continuous calling over and over again. It's not just calling though. Let me rephrase that. It's different touches. So you can send a video, like I do. You can send them an email. You can send them a text. You can send them some kind of something that adds value, right? As a follow up. This is what I do. You can send them a market update. You can put them on a market report for their particular area if they're a seller. There are so many things that you can do. You can send them something in the mail, direct mail piece, but it is, you need multiple touches, because what you're doing is you're creating mind share in the consumer's mind. So when they are ready, they know to call you. So fortune is in the follow-up. Go get them. Remember, 45% of salespeople never call the prospect, not even once. And only 15% call more than 5 times. So the fortune is most definitely in the follow-up.